Earning his right on this world tour. It's so hard and prestigious to become a part of this club. Paul COUDERC dropping in.
Relatively fresh face to the scene. Now with this guy, I want you to pay attention to which direction he's doing his tricks. That was an opposite 360. He spun that one to the right.
Oh!
Backflip, tail whip on the cannon right there. Big move for Paul.
So he's going for the straight jump option with maximum airtime, a backflip, double bar spin. And they call this section now the flight deck. You get so much time cruising up to this drop, which is just enormous. A flat drop backflip.
Nice and smooth for Paul right there. So I think we're going to see some regular spins come. Oh, or a double backflip mid-course. Paul has some huge tricks, showing lots of promise in this run. Now the riders are referring to this as a spine jump. So much airtime. I believe that was an opposite 720, able to stay online.
Oh no!
Come on!
It was all
Kokanee whale tail coming up. Here we go, backflip, double bar spin on that big dirt-to-dirt triple threat feature and into this Joyride runway flight deck here. Flat drop flip, going pretty deep, and that led him right into this double backflip where he also went deep. So we're gonna try to figure out if this was a chain reaction that was causing him to get a little bit off his game, maybe speeds being affected by some of these overshoots. We're getting closer to this section where he messed up here. Cork 720, I believe that was his opposite direction, landing long, and then look, just not hopping far enough to get across. Now, do you think that was a matter of speed, Matt, or do you think he just needed to pop a little harder?
Well, the riders have been saying that they haven't had as much practice as they'd often hope for.
Lukas Knopf has become a staple on this world tour, put in his work. Now he's finding himself mid-pack on the start list, going with a truck driver off the first flat drop. Nice big front flip, similar to what we saw from Diego. Diego able to get a good score with that move right there. Lukas is choosing the hip on the triple threat feature right here. Double tail whip. Oh, just going a little bit too.
Talking to some of the riders, it's been apparent that these features this year are actually quite spread out. And I think that means there's actually more time to kind of miscalculate speed.
Especially this drop here. There's such a long runway. It's like walking the plank on the pirate ship. You're just second guessing yourself. Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? So when you see these riders landing perfectly at the top of that landing, you know they're just experts at gauging speed. So Lukas Knopf gonna do one for the fans out here. Get himself to that shuttle truck so he can make his way to the top of the course for his second try, where hopefully he can put a run together and get a score to get those valuable points and stay on tour. New Zealand, he has tasted the podium. Now you know he's not happy with sitting in 12th place.
No, this has been one of his best seasons to date. I love the way he starts off his run right here. Opposite 361 foot a can. Very technical move for him. He had a great run going in run number one and just missed the last feature right there with a 360 triple bar spin on the cannon log, pumping a lot of speed into this feature right here. Backflip, triple bar spin. So right now he's stepping things up. He got 3 bar spins in that backflip, whereas run one only had 2. Regular 361 foot a can. So that's great variation, getting the opposites in there. Big Cork 720 coming up a little bit short. Can he make it out of this shark fin? He can. All right, so he's going to continue into this Red Bull step up right here with a backflip bar spin to 1 foot a can, switching his trick up there from run number 1. Getting an X up into the toilet bowl. So will he get the honor of riding through the Red Bull Arch at the end of this Joyride course in run number 2? Backflip, 1 foot a can, coming up a little short.
Exactly where he finished in Innsbruck. I feel like he's done his job here, packing in so many bar spin variations on these features. That backflip triple bar spin. There was a couple instances where he did one more bar spin than we were expecting. The judges loved that, and you mentioned that he complimented the 360 topside no foot can with that opposite 360 topside 1 foot can, I should say. And I was almost thinking he was going to throw it away there. A little bit short on that Cork 7.
I was holding my breath. But the extension that he got out of those 1 foot cans, something the judges also look.
Proving he's got what it takes to stay on tour. He clawed his way back up last season.
I wouldn't just say he's the oldest. I would say he's going to use that to his advantage because he has some of the most experience out here. He's been on this World Tour for a long time now, knows exactly what it takes. He's been close a lot of times. Starting things out with the 360X up. Going for a backflip off the cannon log there. Now that's a good move. There's no transition to get that rotation started. And he's choosing the hip on the triple threat right here. Going for a topside double tail whip.
Now this is the flight deck building up. I don't know how these guys judge their speed along there, but look, 360 no-hander on a flat drop. That trick blows my mind.
You're not going to see a lot of those today. Super technical. There it is, a cash roll. That seems to be the cash roll jump right there. Tuck no-hander out of the shark fin. So far, he has not missed a trick in this run.
There it is. That's the 720 where COUDERC seemed to lose all his speed. An X up into the toilet bowl. Once he got Tyler into this whale tail.
So far, everything's clean. He's got a truck driver into the coconut whale tail. A backflip.
Run, and it was the cleanliness. I would say Jakub VENCL's main strength in this run was his cleanliness.
So Jakub actually had a crash in yesterday's practice session and sprained his ankle, and he was thinking maybe, is he even going to be able to ride today? So to see him stomp that run top to bottom, it was extremely clean, is amazing.
It's such a long week for all these competitors out here, and they're dealing with injuries, they're dealing with wind, and this crowd just has the ability to pull these riders out of any funk that they've been dealing with all week. And Jakub VENCL just rising above the adversity and stomping that run.
Also further up the course, we saw him do that double tail whip on the hip feature, and not many riders have been hitting those hips. You have got options this year, and it's good to
off tour, trying to maintain his points. He needs a solid result here in order to stay on this tour. Opting for the step down feature here to get things started. Triple truck driver, already starting out with a huge move right there for Max Fredriksson. Truck driver to tuck no-hander, squeaking in all the combos. Now wrapping that big long berm. He's gotten options here. He's going for the straight jump. Backflip bar spin and tuck no-hander, getting all those bar spin and tuck no-hander combos in there. Now the big drop that we see mid-course this year, opting for the straight 360. Carrying all the speed around that berm into this big step up. Double tail whip. Nice and smooth there, coming around the toilet bowl. Now we have the kokanee whale tail to end things off. Double tail whip in, big move in. Double truck driver out. Oh!
And when you land sideways and your tire blows out on the final feature.
All right, so Max was able to squeak in a lot of combos there, opting for the straight 360 off the drop, but everything else pretty much had bar spins, tuck no-handers, and tail whips thrown in. Great way to start the show. He's had pretty bad luck with Crankworx events in the past as of late. So landing that last feature and riding through, you know he had.
It's a wrap. Go check him out on Instagram. He's always entertaining out there. Just look at his pants. Right now, Tomas LEMOINE dropping in for his run.
So much style out of Tomas LEMOINE. You'll see it out of these first features right here. Double truck driver, just catching those bars so smooth. Backflip tail up on the up box, which is a harder option compared to the cannon log right there. Tomas LEMOINE's been so busy all week, but you can't tell. Wow, 360 tuck no-hander to bar spin on that hip feature there.
silky smooth, a feature that other people might have been struggling with speed. Tomas gets it perfect. 360 tabletop on the flat drop. That's going to boost the style points on this run. Now we get into these steep kicker jumps. Opposite 360 no-hander. Wow! Now that looked incredible.
Inward table on that 450 out of the shark fin right there. Double backflip. That's a new move for Tomas LEMOINE this season. How did he do that? He can just create speed out of nowhere. Landing low on that double backflip, but still able to clear in and trick into the toilet bowl. Backflip bar spin in. Huge 360 tuck.
Let's digest some of these finer moments. Look at this, on the hip, so that's going to score high. A 360 tuck no-hander would score high on its own, but he adds in the bar spin. It's those subtleties that the judges love. Look at this, arms perfectly extended on that opposite 360 tuck no-hander. So checking that box on the judges' scorecard of technicality. And then for amplitude and difficulty of trick, yeah, you might as well throw in a double backflip. Look how low he landed.
Look how high he is there too. LEMOINE is well over 6 feet, making that jump look so small because he's so high in the air. And that right there, regular 360 tuck no-hander out of the whale tail.
Appreciate just the
Joyride is what these kids dream about. And all the other contests they go to work their way here. So Lukas HUPPERT with his second chance right here to wow the judges. Truck driver off the flat drop. Nice move right there for Lukas HUPPERT. Front flip on the cannon. Things are going smooth so far for Lukas HUPPERT in run number 2. Opting for the hip once again. Double tail whip, clearing it perfect, getting both pedals, maintaining his speed into this flight deck. Big flat drop. Looked like a 360X up on that. Looks like he's pumping all kinds of speed into this jump right here.
Oh yeah, if you think back to run number 1, that's where things fell apart for Lukas.
Everything from here on is an improvement for Lukas HUPPERT. Trying to get out of that 14th position with a big cash roll right there. Bar spin in. Lukas having a great run going so far, now coming into the kokanee whale tail. Let's see if he can finish off his first Red Bull Joyride run with a 360 downside tail up in and a truck driver out.
Yeah, 720, and we see him here on this split screen, stomping it with perfection, nose down, front tire touching, very straight there, and then complementing that Cork 720 with a cash roll. Basically, 2 720 tricks on separate axis of rotation, and then he finished it off strong here with this 360 bar spin. We call that the truck driver out of the kokanee whale tail.
Only person able to do a twister just last year. Then Diego pulled it out of nowhere. So he's got all the big moves, all the tech moves, regulars, oppos, everything that it takes to get on the podium here at Red Bull Joyride.
360X up off the flat drop, that's an option. Now let's look. That's off the cannon, a front flip. That trick blows my mind. It's so much airtime off of a big cannon like that. Where's he going here for the triple threat? Straight down the middle, backflip, bar spin to tail whip.
Damn, some
This
big
run
moves.
is on fire. Right, come on, the flight deck. This is a humongous drop. He's got a flat drop backflip. Quite a lot of variation in this run, rotating in all directions. 1, 2, that's a double tail whip. Come on, Diego, keep it together.
Getting lots of variety in this run. He's got the spins, he's got the flips, and the tail whips. So what's it gonna be on this big jump right here? Front flip, bar spin. A Diego Cavarzasi signature move right there, loving the front flip combos. Navigating his way around that toilet bowl, and now coming in to the kokanee whale tail. Truck driver in, what's he gonna choose out? Backflip bar spin.
Top 12 at the first event, finishing in 11th in Innsbruck. But now for him to stomp this run, and all of these technical maneuvers like this backflip bar spin to tail up, take a look at where his feet go, straight to the pedals very early, eyes up, catching and regaining control of that bike, making the plan for the next feature. A run executed with precision, such a mental game out here, especially when you're getting into your 3rd, 4th, 5th season. All these riders go through these growing pains, and it's the tough ones who are able to come back and get a good. Very well with a 4th place finish, and then a 6th place finish in Innsbruck. Torquato Testa dropping in.
Torquato rides and trains with Diego Cavarzasi. He's got a different style than Diego. He's got big moves as well, though. 360 bar spin to start right there. It's a unique move. Backflip Superman on the cannon log.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I have not either.
Double backflip on the longest jump on course.
Wow.
Coming into the flight deck. Let's see what he's got on this absolutely enormous drop. A flat drop backflip. The slowest rotation I think I've ever seen of a flat flip.
Torquato's on another great run right here. Such a smooth 720 on that step up right there. Getting a bar spin out of the shark fin. This jump right here. Torquato's got some big moves. What will he choose? Backflip tuck no-hander to bar spin. Great technical combo in right there, getting a little bit of everything into this run. Coming into the final feature, the kokanee whale tail. Double truck driver in. Backflip no foot can out.
Of the backflip yourself. but let's have a look at this. That is a huge double backflip. You can see him after the first rotation just looking longingly into the distance for where that landing is.
Well, you know what? This is a great strategy, and this is why he's clawed his way back onto tour after falling off, is taking those big tricks, putting on more difficult features, doing those combos on step downs, doing the double flip on the biggest jump on the course. And that's why he's third in the overall rankings right now. Despite falling off last tour, clawed his way back on, and now in the top 3 overall because of these great decisions and the way he's able to execute these ambitious runs.
It's been so consistent all year, and look at the way he lands right at the top of all these landings. This right here, backflip, no foot can, full extension on that. Getting the pedals, spotting the landing, right at the top. Couldn't have been any.
One of my favorite riders to watch because you never know what he's been working on. He always brings something new to the table, and he's not afraid to adapt those creative tricks to the more difficult features.
Let's see, now he's opting for the step down. Backflip tail whip, that's a way of making your mark, dropping into a slopestyle run.
I think that's a new one for him as well, going straight into a 360 downside tail whip there. And he's choosing the straight jump. What's it gonna be?
Yes!
Backflip,
There it is.
Superman C-grab. Such a unique move. A reason why Erik FEDKO is so exciting to watch on these courses. Truck driver off the big flat drop there, keeping things such smooth as he usually does.
Yes!
360 C-grab Indian air. Another one of his signature moves. Tail whip to table on the shark fin. Looks like he's just having fun with it, and that's what the judges love to see. Truck driver to tail whip. Huge combo right there for Erik FEDKO.
This run has just been perfect so far, hasn't it?
Even getting some style into the toilet bowl right there. And now coming into the kokanee whale tail. Going for a 360 tail.
Check out some of these replays. Backflip, gets his hand on the seat, then extends his leg. All right, stop. There we go. Perfect straight line right there. And look, he's blind. He's still staring at his handlebars. He's not looking down at the ground. That is commitment. Roll the footage.
That is a trick. That is a trick that you can do, you can land, and it's also a trick that you can do so well, and we displayed that just there.
And this is what I'm talking about. He catches the tail up. Yeah, most riders would say that's enough, but he gains control, and even just that little bit of a tabletop afterwards shows the judges that he's a couple steps ahead of the tricks that he's doing. And then to start out with a backflip tail and end with a isn't on the slopestyle course just to get practice, but he'll do it for the fans, and we got the most fans all year right here cheering his name.
Nicholi always thrives off the energy of the crowd. Going for a cash roll off the step down there. That's a new move for him. He did that first time in practice.
360 double tail whip. Was that on the up box?
Hold it together.
Come on, he's lost some speed there. Come on, Nicholi. He's going straight down the middle. 1, 2, 3. That's a twister. A 1080.
So he's stepping things up a little bit more than Dawid GODZIEK right now. 360X up down. So I'd say if he's able to finish this run out like he hopes, this may be able to top Dawid GODZIEK. These runs are very similar. Double tail whip right there.
Yes, come on.
Big move. Holding on. See if he maintains his speed into this step up. Triple tail whip. Just making everything happen. Now he's got a little bit of time to recover and think about these big moves right here to finish things off.
Come on, Nicholi. Straight backflip in. What's he got for the step down?
Yes!
A cork 720!
The trick that Nicholi brought to this scene, and then Nicholi answering right back, starting things off by cash rolling the step down.
Cash roll to start, cork 7 to end. Those are two cool moves right there. And that right there, how do you squeak all that in? There's not very much airtime on that feature.
Now this is the same jump that Dawid GODZIEK did the twister. This is basically a front flip with 2 other spins, so it's a front cork 1080. But let's start tallying how many times he almost threw this runaway here.
This was the moment here. He tags this landing with his back wheel and it just picks him up.
That is a big one right there. Look, he probably didn't even remember that. Somehow made it. I mean, even up top, he's roosting in a berm and pedaled into the section. Gosh, and then finishing so perfect with that. I mean, if you think
that was one of his downfalls of not taking the win in Innsbruck. So I'm sure he went home, focused on all that. He's got the jumps figured out, that's for sure.
Right, pay close attention to this. He's going for the step down. Backflip bar spin, already off to an absolute stormer. Which way is he going? Is that the right-hand side? First rider to take the up box with a double tail whip round this berm. This is the first absolutely huge jump on course. And what's he got? Straight down the middle with a twister!
Huge twister. It makes no sense how you can have a rotation like that on such lock, making that look like a straight air. Big tail whip on that drop that we see mid-course now. That feature used to be the ender. Cash roll bar spin with such a slow rotation, but able to pull that in.
Wow, that flare out of that shark fin. That's the BMXer in David right there.
David is looking so relaxed, working his way down this course with a triple truck driver coming in to the toilet bowl, squeaking in a little toboggan in there, trying to get the bonus points. And now the whale tail. What will it be for Dawid GODZIEK? Front flip, tuck no-hander in. Back flip, tuck no-hander out.
Absolutely has what it takes to take over the top spot. The big question right now, by how much? How much room are the judges going to be able to leave for the rest of our star-studded field out here?
Looking so calm and collected for his first Red Bull Joyride appearance here. Now we saw him in Innsbruck getting right onto the podium, and you know he wants to do the same thing here at the biggest comp of the year. He's watched his brother ride it many times, and now it's his shot.
Now he eligible for that Triple Crown. You know he's trying to think about his run and not about that $50,000 on the line if he were to win. But here we go. Brett Reeder, second run, Joyride 2019.
Will he try to clean that run that he didn't run #1 or stick with this? Okay, so that was a front flip off the flat drop there. Back flip, double bar spin off the cannon. All right, so now he's got everything going on that he needs.
It is on.
Opposite cork 720 on the dirt-to-dirt right there, spinning his unnatural direction.
Here we go.
Going perfect.
The
Huge
muscle move.
Back
Yes.
flip, tail whip, landing that so smooth. Cork 720, everything is looking perfect right now. And when Brett gets into this mindset, he is hard to stop. And now he's coming into this unique trick right here.
Yeah, smooth on the windshield wiper.
I believe he may have switched that to a double tail whip. Hard to tell from the angle.
There's
but
a
now
chairlift in the way.
he's coming in to the kokanee whale tail. What will it be? 360 tail whip in. Backflip, opposite tail.
This run, Tyler.
So this right here, he only did a straight flip on that in his first run, and I think that just threw his whole vibe off, knowing that it wasn't the run he wanted to do. But as soon as we saw him land that, we knew everything was on fire, everything was working perfectly, and to think he had to do this twice right here. Can't explain how dangerous that is. So many things that could go wrong. Making it look so easy. That one's a scary one to even practice. It's not one you want to do unless you have to. And to win this competition, he had to.
Now, the thing about the athleticism of this guy and the experience that he has is even if he's not feeling the course, he's a little confused. There were some tricks he's been training hard for that he didn't feel would be appropriate on this course. Even while improvising and changing his plan against what he wanted to do, he still drops a run like that. And you're right, Ty, the chairlift was in the way during his run, but that was a double tail whip. So smart decisions there.
Using his experience to know that he was a little sloppy on the windshield wiper, so going with something he knew he was going to land. And that right
But to win Red Bull Joyride, the thing that matters the most to all these competitors out here.
Emil has been referred to as the future greatest of all time, showing so much potential anytime he gets on a bike. So good to see him healthy here, starting out with a 360 tail whip. Now that was an opposite truck driver to inward table. This guy can do any trick, any direction, choosing the hip right here.
Yes.
Great to see with the huge cork 720. So much more difficult to pull that on a hip than a straight jump.
What's he got here? A 360 unturned down to bar spin. Just appreciate how smooth Emil is riding, doing all these technical tricks but landing so perfectly. A double truck driver to downside tail whip into a 450 step through.
That double truck to down whip is my favorite Emil Johansson trick that he has in his bag.
That's a back flip double tail whip.
So many, like that flip double whip right there. Bar spin in. Emil getting another great run in right here at Red Bull Joyride, coming into the kokanee whale tail.
If he holds this together, 360 tail whip in, come on. And opposite.
Wow!
Hip and the triple threat for that cork 7. Things like getting this 360 double bar spin to downside whip and catching the pedals so early. Look at this.
That trick is just ludicrous.
So many things going on, but look at how perfect he lands it every time.
like you see a lot of riders doing truck drivers off of that drop, but to do that 360 on turn down to truck driver, and every single time the bike is whipping around, the feet just magnetically attract themselves right there.
He makes that bike look like a feather, doesn't he? Doesn't
Yeah.
he? Just so light, such easy work for Emil out on this course.
But here we go. The opposite three whip in, the regular three whip to unturn down out. Now that is the cleanliness that the judges were